What's up, everybody? Michael Thythavong here, co-founder of FaDE. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up about where we're at. Past 72 hours, more questions, and we've been providing more answers into what FaDE really is. Our counts have jumped up from 1,300 as of last Thursday, Friday. Now we're sitting here about 48 hours later. Collectively, between me and Brian's videos, we're about right at 2,000, which absolutely amazing. I have everybody to thank out there. People that have been watching, people that have been sharing, people have just been asking those questions. It's really important, that we keep on doing that. We keep the conversation going. FaDE as a thought, is to me one of the most important things. And I'm gonna go ahead and touch base on that a little bit. My partner Brian, he's got some information out already. You guys can go ahead and check that out if you guys are already Facebook friends. If not, you can go to the YouTube. We got that up right now, Journey of FaDE. You can go ahead and search that. I know that it's relatively new, so if you're having trouble finding the content, just put the word FaDE and just attach my name, Michael, and or Brian's name. You'll be able to pull up all those videos there. So keep the movement going. Keep it pushing, keep it moving forward. I promise you, all your questions will be answered at least by the 15th, if not earlier. And we're just going to keep it moving forward. So FaDE, what's FaDE, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys in on a little secret. FaDE is an acronym. FaDE stands for Fathers and Dads Every Day. So most of you guys might be asking yourselves, well, fathers and dads, that's the same thing. And, they can be, absolutely. But to me, it takes a different connotation, right? So, me, my family, my mom and dad, I should say, they divorced when I was 15 years old. And so, I had to figure out this life. I was like, oh, well, be with my mom, be with my dad. There was a lot. We just did a lot of back and forth. But, my father, obviously, he brought me into this world and he taught me a lot, about life. But at 15 years old, I still had so much more that I could learn and so much more to do. My mom eventually got back into another relationship, and then I was able to have a stepdad in my life, but I don't call him my stepdad. Like he's my dad. Like he was able to teach me so much, about being a young adult, about being a young man, and about being a father as well. So I don't feel like he deserves any less from me. You know what I mean? Like he's my dad. My dad's my dad. My dad's also my father. So again, that's where there's this distinction. Between fathers and dads every day. You can be both, absolutely. But even in my situation, right? So I'm divorced. My ex-wife, I'm not saying she will, but I'm sure at some point in time, she would want to be in a relationship and or get married, right? So I'm hoping, in my mind, and most people would say, oh, you're going to be vengeful, you're going to be upset about it. Not really, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, her happiness is important to her. So if she finds somebody, that's going to be hopefully like a dad figure to my daughter as well. And we can't get offended by that. You know what I mean? Like literally, it's 2018. Like, you got to be able to understand that yes, like that situation is a reality. Me and my daughter's mom aren't together anymore, and if she chooses that that's going to be the next phase in her life, yes, my daughter is going to have another dad in her life. I got to be able to accept that, but we got to be able to celebrate that as well. The responsibilities that come with it. Being a step parent, I can only assume. Shout out to all the step parents out there doing your thing. I know it's not easy. I know I didn't make it easy on my stepdad. I know I still don't make it easy on my stepdad. But there's just this distinction, and we don't want to alienate that. So again, going back to it, FaDE, fathers and dads every day. And what does that mean? So, as fathers, a lot's asked of us, right? We're supposed to be the rock, we're supposed to be the biggest supporters. We're supposed to hold the whole thing together. That's what's asked of us, right, as men. So when we think about this in its entirety, I think what happens is it's like, well, what happens when tragedy hits, right, or something catastrophic happens? Who do we go to? Who do we lean on? When your guys are sitting around, we're watching the football game. I've never asked any of my friends, hey, how do I become a better dad? How do I become a better father? A better parent, a better husband, right? Like, we're not asking each other that because it's almost taboo of us to do it. We're we have this ego, we're like this have this macho ness. So it's sort of hard to address. And that's why I'm trying to bring this idea to the forefront. It's like, again, when we talk about a team, we talk about the strength in numbers. When you start adding these numbers up, and it only starts with one and then it just starts to snowball, and that's a good thing. You know, that's how I was able to meet the other co-founder, Brian. We went to school together, but we ended up going through the same things in life, and we were able to lean on each other. Then we asked ourselves, hey, we can't be the only two people dealing with this, you know, this helplessness, the depression, the anxiety, all these things. We can't be the only ones. So the calling came, and we took it and we went heads on with it. And we did the research and we tried to figure out what was going to be the best approach to this. And the only way that we knew and understood was to be able to put this out and create an idea where guys can gravitate to that. um, when you have that leadership, right? You have these people that can talk to you about this stuff. You have people that you can turn to when you say, hey, Michael, hey, Brian, I'm going through the same thing, man. I'm struggling. And we just want to be able to be that lending ear. We want to be able to provide the support, so it doesn't get as bad as it got for me. It doesn't get as bad as it got for Brian. And that's, to me, that's like the biggest, that's like how we define brotherhood, right? Like picking each other up, you know, helping each other up, when they fall. That's a team. That's brotherhood. That's community. And these are the most important aspects of what we're trying to do moving forward. You know, when you talk about this, and obviously me and Brian both being divorced, you know, yeah, is it an important aspect for us to address those things? Yes. But FaDE is also here to be able to address other things as well, celebrating fathers, you know what I mean? Bringing them to the forefront. We want to be able to, let them have their day. I know a lot of dads that are doing it right, and nothing more than to be able to celebrate them and show them in a great light so other guys can be able to see, hey, you know what? He is doing it right. High five to that, you know?